Alicia here, and welcome to my channel. This is my first video, so welcome. I am bringing all things speech language pathology related, and if you've come across this video, you probably read the title and probably figured what this video is about. Today I'll be sharing some tips and advice when it comes to applying to graduate school programs in speech language pathology. Can we just put this out there now? Speech language pathology, the short form for it is SLP. If you hear me say SLP, it means speech language pathology. It does become a mouthful, but I have some water here to keep me hydrated, so all good. I have applied to SLP graduate schools in the past, and I'm currently wrapping up my last few weeks of my master's degree program. Technically, I should already be done, but you know, COVID just decided to take over 2020 and put everybody's life on a pause, but you know, that's besides the point. At that point in time when I was applying, I searched the net. I tried to look for videos like these that could just give me reassurance and just help me make sure that I'm on the right track. So for those who are also in that position currently, hopefully you'll find this video helpful. If you are considering on pursuing a career path in speech language pathology and are unsure of where to start or different things you can do to strengthen your application process, hopefully this video will be helpful to you in some way. And if you already are in the process of completing your application, perhaps this video can give you some reassurance and some confidence that you are on the right track and to keep up the good work. And if there are things that I don't mention that you have done which have helped you in your application process, please feel free to share a comment and let everybody else know. Those could also be helpful tips that can help us all get to where we need to be. So with that being said, I'm going to stop rambling on. I wish everybody the best in their application process. So tip number one, my first piece of advice for all of you thinking of applying to SLP graduate programs is do your research. So what do I mean by research? What I mean is going online and searching all of the different universities that offer a graduate program in speech language pathology. It might be within your province, it might be outside of your province. You want to read up on the school and the specific SLP program and make sure that it's a good fit for you, because not all graduate school programs will teach their content the same way. So you want to make sure that you are applying to a program that benefits your learning style the most. For example, some SLP grad programs have frameworks of problem-based learning. So you are independent for your own learning and figuring out how to achieve the information you are looking for. In contrast, there are other SLP programs that exist that are very lecture-based. So what you would see in a typical undergraduate program, for example, where you would attend a class or a lecture and you have an instructor or a professor kind of drilling the information to you and you take notes based on what you learn, and it's very traditional. So depending on the type of learning style that you best suit, that might be the university that you might fall more interested in. If they don't suit your learning style, you might want to reconsider applying there. But all in all, if you love the university and you love the learning style, and let's say you're not used to the learning style, but you want to challenge yourself and you're up for it, by all means, I support it. Tip number two, another thing you want to look into when you're researching different SLP programs are their requirements. Similar to learning styles at different universities, all universities and all SLP grad programs will differ in some way or another, whether it's their learning framework or requirements to actually get into the program. Some programs require different courses, they require different documentation when you're applying, or they might require different averages or GPAs overall. So you really want to start early and make sure that you understand the differences that each program and school requires of you when you're applying. So you really want to give yourself enough time to make sure that you are organizing your schedule accordingly, that you have all the courses you need before the time you are applying. But most applications will allow you to still apply if you have not fully completed the course. So if you're applying to an SLP grad program and you are in the middle of taking the course and you haven't yet completed it, it will still show on your transcript that you are currently enrolled in it and you will eventually have your credit. The next tip that I want to give you is apply with a high GPA or average. When it comes to GPA in the SLP programs that exist, it is pretty competitive. I'm not gonna lie. The more people that apply to an SLP graduate program within that year, the chances are that the GPA will also increase as the program just becomes more competitive to get into. The average GPA was around a 3.6 to 3.7. So if you can aim around that ballpark, great. If you can aim higher than that, even better. Your third and your fourth year of undergrad are typically the 2 years. So you really want to make sure you are trying to achieve your best grades and working as hard as you can. It might result in a little bit of stress, but try not to stress yourself out and try not to overwhelm yourself too much when it comes to taking specific courses you need for specific SLP grad programs. And I'm going to tell you what I did. A really clever way to make sure that your coursework does not become too overwhelming is to balance your heavier, more challenging courses. And by that I mean courses that you need to achieve a high grade in, aka the courses you require for grad programs, or just courses you need to graduate in general. Take those more challenging, heavier courses and balance them with easier, lighter courses. And every university has their electives or easier courses that you can take that have a lighter workload, they have fewer assignments, maybe just the content is a lot easier to wrap your head around, things like that. So when you do start early and you plan ahead and you make sure that you are aware of the courses you need to take, make sure you're taking that course with an easier elective so that when it comes down to the amount of work and the amount of energy you need to put towards your courses, you can spend a bit more time focusing on that harder course and less time on the easier one. And that way you're less exhausted, less overwhelmed, and the chances of you maintaining a higher GPA for that term or that year is a lot more achievable. My next tip is to network. It's such a cliche, but it is so important to do, especially when applying for SLP grad programs or just grad programs in general. It will make such a big difference if you go out of your way and try talking to your professors. It could be something you found super interesting about their lecture from that day, maybe a question you had from the lecture, or something you acknowledged to make the professor remember you, so that next time when you go to speak to him or her again, they're going to remember you. And that's how you start a strong relationship with your professor. If you don't have time after class, try to send them an email, a professional email. And if you want any tips on emailing professors, let me know down below. I'd be happy to make a video about that. But you can send them a professional email. Again, it could be commenting on something you learned in lecture, or maybe something that your professor is researching that you are interested in, and you can set up a meeting with them. Most professors have office hours, so if you can take advantage of going into one of their office hours, sitting down with your professor and having a chat with them, they will remember you. And when the time comes that you are applying for grad school programs, it will be so much easier to ask that professor for a letter of reference. And even better, you will get a great letter of reference because it will be personal and it will show the strong relationship that you have built with your professor. Most universities are able to filter out the reference letters that are pretty mediocre and just seem like they were just tossed together with very generic information, versus reference letters that you can clearly see that the student in the professor have a strong relationship and have gotten to know each other over the years. Another great way you can network is try taking courses during your undergrad that allow you to have some sort of co-op experience or some sort of practicum or internship experience, and try to get placements in a field like speech language pathology, because there are so many in the community that are willing to take on students, and it's a fantastic way to network with SLPs in your community, and you can learn about the hands-on work that they do on a day-to-day basis, and it allows you to know an SLP and who else to ask questions SLP related than an SLP themselves. So again, another great way to network, and it just builds more connections you have within the community that can really just support you and get you to where you want to be with your career. Tip number 6 is volunteer. Put yourself out there in the community and show that you are dedicated and you are willing to give your time and your efforts to help those in the community in our field. Now, there are a lot of different volunteering opportunities that exist out there, so if you look them up online or even through your networking, you can come across different volunteering experiences. Take advantage of them, because not only do they look good on an application, they also help you build more experience clinically. Then you have a lot more experiences to draw from when you are writing your essay or statement of interest for your application process. And FYI, if you want a video on tips for creating a great statement of interest, let me know down below, and I'm more than happy to make a video on that as well. So again, you're building your network and you are exposing yourself to more skills and opportunity to excel in this career path. So that concludes my 6 helpful tips when applying to an SLP graduate school program. For those that are thinking of applying, I wish you all the best, and I hope you found this video helpful in any way. Again, if you have any other tips that I haven't already covered, please let me know down below so others who come across my video or the comments can benefit from those tips as well. If there's anything else you would like me to make a video about regarding the application process or my journey throughout my SLP graduate program in general, I will be more than happy to. I have some video ideas that are kind of brainstorming in my head right now, so you will see a video come up soon. But for now, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like it if you did. Please comment and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see or hear more of me. And with that being said, we will sign off from there. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys soon.